Hi, I'm going to talk about the PourBoy 4 sterile media dispenser from Tritech Research, and first I'll go over some features of how it works, and then we'll show it in actual operation. So the PourBoy is based on this electromagnetic pump. Media flows in this side and out this side through some tubing that will connect. When you first turn it on, the digital display will show whatever it was doing the last time it was used. It'll recall that parameter. In this case, it was pouring 10 mLs into 60 millimeter Petri dishes, and it was in manual mode, meaning that you have to hit the foot pedal once for each time that you want to dispense into a dish. You can also switch into automatic mode by pushing the mode button, and in automatic mode now you'll see that it shows both the volume and a time that's a pause time interval. So in this case it'll pour 10 mLs, wait 1 second, and then pour another 10 mLs, and so on, which you start with the foot pedal, and then when you're finished you hit the foot pedal one more time to stop. Parameters can be stored in these A, B, and C memory locations. So for example, this position B is similar to what we were just talking about for 60 millimeter Petri dishes, and position C has a larger volume set. That's what our lab uses for their 90 to 100 millimeter dishes. Okay, now I'm going to show how to set the PourBoy up and actually pour some plates. So there are a few different ways that it can be sterilized, but the simplest method is that when you're making your media, you also autoclave a couple of bottles of distilled water, so that you have some hot distilled water that you can run through the pump beforehand. And you can also at the same time autoclave your tubing. So here's the tubing wrapped in aluminum foil to keep it clean until we're ready to use it. And you'll notice that one end of the input tubing has a cut in it so that it cannot attach to the inside of a bottle, that it'll always be able to flow. So that's going to be the end that goes into the bottle. So we'll put it in that hot water, and then we'll attach it to the input of the PourBoy. And then here's our output tube. The only part that really has to stay sterile from that is the tip. There are a few different ways that the pump can be sterilized, but the easiest one is actually to take the bottle of hot sterile water and just run it through the pump. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm just going to pump this through and into a waste beaker. First there's some air bubbles coming through like that, and then you've got just a good stream of water, and then you just run through about 500 mLs of hot water and you should be good to go. Okay, so now when it's pumped enough hot water through it, you can switch to the actual media that you want to dispense. Okay, now we're all set to pour the media. Notice that this agar-based media is on a hot plate and it has a stir bar. It's important to make sure that the media doesn't cool unevenly so that it could start to gel in the tubing. Okay, we're all set. So now we can pour some dishes. This foot pedal is normally used by foot to make it easier, but so I can show you what's going on, I'm going to use my elbow. So here's a stack of dishes, and I'm going to activate it, and then one time, and then it'll pour and pause as we go up the stack. and then hit the foot pedal again to stop the cycle. And then you can grab the next stack and so on. In this case, I'll just show you that you can set a different volume, like I'm going to push the C button here, which is set for these 100mm plates. And now we're all set to fill a couple of these. Alright, that's the basic operation. And then you keep pouring until you're finished with your whole project. If for some reason you have to stop pouring plates in the middle, it's important that you keep recirculating the media through the tubing so that it doesn't get cold in the tubing and gel. So you can aim the output tube back into the input and just keep pouring normally. Then when you are all finished, as soon as you're finished, you're going to pull the input tube out of the media, if there's any left, and you're going to go back into another bottle. You're going to go back into another hot bottle of water to wash out any residual agar. And then this can just be cleaned out directly like this. And if you need to, you can use a clamp to hold things in place. And that's it. You're all set.